Hi friends, I'm overcomplicating things. I have 5 spaces left. Now I want to find the 5 perfect inks to go, but I think I'm just going to go with this 5 set here instead of overthinking it. And I have lost the pen that I want to write on here. I am going to swatch all of the ink bottles and the one sample that I received when I purchased a pen from the San Francisco Pen Show 2024. I got way too many bottles. I have to admit, some were gifts, some were from the D-Stash table, some were included with purchase. And I am going to swatch them in my usual swatch book. I'm also doing way too many things for my bottles. I'm swatching them in here. I'm swatching them on the swatch cards for my Rolodex. I'm swatching them on these cards. But then I also usually swatch inks in my big book of things, of inks, my big book of inks, plus my ink bottle log. And I have decided that I'm not going to do any of those. I'm just going to stick with these 3 things and then swatch the rest sometime later, because otherwise I will be overwhelmed and it won't be fun. And all of my inky stuff should be fun, shouldn't it? I'm going to swatch some of the inks on cards, but for some I already have cards because I had them as samples prior to actually purchasing a full bottle, which is what I would love to do, but I never listen to my own advice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to swatch Diamine Inkvent Red Edition Brandy Snap, Wearingeul Heimdall, Sailor 50 States Nevada, Sailor Shikiori Okuyama, and Pennonia Amarillo Stationery Rosa Mexicano. Let's start. I am swatching all of my inks on 52 original Tomoe River paper. This is an insert from Paper Penguin Co. And I'm also swatching them on Kanzen mixed media paper. Oh, I just told you that I'm not going to swatch many of the inks on the cards. This is an ink where I already have a card, but that's okay. Just going to go ahead and continue doing what I'm doing. Let's put this right here to dry. And then I have that's not what I do. That's not how I do it. Messing things up. So the minute I used Brandy Snap in a fountain pen, I knew that once I had finished my sample bottle, I would buy a bottle. Now I have the bottle. I think I still have the sample bottle, and I'm doing a San Francisco Pen Show giveaway. The I Couldn't Go Pen Show giveaway. So if you went, please don't enter the giveaway. This is for those folks who had to stay at home. And I'm going to include ink samples, obviously the leftover bottle of this. And yeah, I'm still in that Pen Show high. I just filmed my haul video, which of course was way much longer than I thought it was going to be. Brandy Snap. I can't talk and write at the same time. Just bear with me. And then I usually also make these cards for my swatch book of bottles. These are Tsubame ink collection cards. I love them. This is a 50 milliliter bottle, I think. 50 milliliter. This is Brandy Snap. Diamine. I purchased it on August 25, 2024 at Dromgoals. No, that's not true. Gift from Maria. What the heck? Maria. Gift. So, that's all I do. No, I don't. I usually also, I keep all of my bottles in the boxes that they came in. And then I put one of those hole reinforcers on the top of the bottle so I can see what the ink inside looks like. This ink needed to come home with me because I just love this. It reminds me of the Zebra Sarasa Vintage in caramel, I believe is the color. I did not write on here because I already have a card for this. And I believe that this looks very much the same. So that's cool. I'm going to write on the back here that I purchased a bottle of this, or I received a bottle of this in August of 2024. So these two go over here. Next, we're going to swatch Wearingeul Heimdall. I don't think I will include all of the inks in the giveaway. My giveaway, I already have a vial holder from Inkapet, the octopus. I just love that thing. Oh my god, look how bright this color looks. So I thought I had a sample of this ink and had made a card for this, but I didn't. I was under the impression that this ink looks more like this. But if I look at these two things here, they don't even come close. What do you think? I'm curious to see how it performs in a pen. This was one of those that I did not purchase because I had already tried a sample, and sometimes that's going to bite you in the back behind. I'm just going to use it and see what I think of it once I have used it in a pen. Maybe I'll like it, maybe I won't. What it reminds me of actually is Diamine Autumn Oak. Need to grab that sample for sure, that swatch card sample. What the heck, I don't have that anymore. Here. Let's see what it looks like when it's dry. But yes, this is definitely close. So now we're going to do the lines. Let's put here Wearingeul Heimdall. A, B, C. It flows well from my brass nib, so I imagine that this is not one of those drier inks that you might encounter. Let's just do this. So I was a little disappointed by the color because I expected this to be more brown. But if it flows as well from this, from a fountain pen nib as it flows from this brass nib, maybe I'll be happy. This was purchased on August 25, 2024, Dromgoals. in San Francisco at the pen show. Then I'm going to redip. Yeah, I mean, there's enough difference between these two, and I don't believe I have such a light yellow orange in my stash for reasons, actually, because I don't really I haven't found a light orange ink that flows to my liking. Wearingeul. So if that is filling that gap, then I'm definitely happy with it. I mentioned in my haul video where I think I spent more time talking about the pens, hopefully. I can never keep myself short, unfortunately. Maybe you like that, but people who would love to watch shorter videos are definitely not at the right address with my videos. I mentioned it in my haul video that sounds weird. The success rate of pens that I keep long-term, longer than a year from the San Francisco Pen Show is really low, actually. And I might have not, or I shouldn't have purchased maybe that many ink bottles. I will do that later. But because I have found that I'm really good at letting go of things that don't suit me well anymore, I'm actually okay with acquiring more than I might need or want, because this gives me the opportunity to try it out. Maybe I'll just give away samples of inks that I don't particularly care for, so I have something to send to friends, or I will just pass along the bottle. Same as when I'm selling pens. It's okay to, even at a pen show, not buy things for long-term use or forever. I think that's something that I hadn't realized, that I often, or the last 2 years that I went to the show, I felt like I'm buying, you know, family heirlooms, and maybe that's what you can buy at the show. There's definitely pens and inks that are, well, inks maybe not so much, but pens that are in a price range where you think twice if you just buy this for trying it out and maybe selling it later at a price that is lower than your, like, you always make, you never win. Most of the time, you never win in situations where you buy something new and then you sell it secondhand. But if it's worth it to you for the experience, then that's okay. Oh my gosh. I guess I can't stop not doing the routine. Oh my God. I'm not too hard on myself. It's just what it is. I am making these cards myself from a big block of mixed media paper. And also this way we can check if the original sample that I tried is the same as the one that I actually now purchased. No, this is not the right flat surface. Too low. B, C. Oh, wow. This looks like a beginner. B, C, A, B, C. Yeah. So I realized I am not buying family heirlooms at the pen show. And so I'm not trying to buy all the things, but I'm also allowing myself to make errors, to buy something that I think I love, but maybe it's not going to be love forever. It's going to be, I loved this sailor But now I tried it and it's not for me in long term. Sailor 50 States, August 25, 2024. Drum ghouls. Drum. How do you write drum ghouls? Oh my gosh. San Francisco. And this is a 20 milliliter bottle. All right, so last thing for this is the lines. Let's see if there's still ink here. Yep. I actually really like how this performs with this Sailor 50 States. With this brass nib, Nevada. Flower did not leave a lot of space. Well, branch, twig. This I tested in my 31 inks, 31 pens, 31 letters in May, and I really liked it. It just represents Nevada for me, and I live here, and I loved that I love this ink. So let's put this back here. Two more. Sailor Shikiori Okuyama. So when I was at the Drum Ghouls booth, they brought a ton of ink. I think Drum Ghouls is the, look at how this looks. You know what this reminds me of? Tachiya Ume Murasaki, just a darker version of it. They brought tons of inks, and of course they are going to be sold out or picked through by Sunday. And so I was like, okay, I could get Sailor 50 States, California, wasn't there. I could get whatever. Other inks that I had been thinking of getting weren't there. So I basically decided, which is not something that I would recommend you do unless you're in the moment like me and you just decide to carpe diem. So I looked like, okay, what inks look interesting to me? And I found this one and I thought, man, this looks really cool. I might really like this. And I actually am. I really like this ink. I want to use it in other pens. I currently have it inked in my Platinum 3776 extra fine with a monoline nib. And it works really well. Yeah. I cannot write this ink name without misspelling. It flows so nicely from this nib. Okay, this was definitely a find because I really love this. I cannot wait to use this in a pen. For some reason, I'm always drawn to the same colors. These wine burgundy reds. I wanted to show you Diamine Writer's Blood in comparison. It's much darker. Yeah, it definitely reminds me of a dark Tachiya Ume Murasaki. Maybe I was drawn to it for that reason. I don't know. But yeah, this I think is going to be a winner. I need a little bit more ink here. Sorry, trying to keep everything in frame is a little bit hard. This is a 20 milliliter bottle. I spent $63 for 4 ink bottles. So I bought Diamine Walnut, Heimdall. Wearingeul are usually quite expensive inks. Sailor 50 States Nevada is expensive, and I don't know how much the Shikiori inks are, but so I got these 4 at Drum Ghouls at the buy 3 get 4. Let's try and see Okuyama. Wow! Sailor Shikiori. Yeah, okay. I'm totally convinced this is awesome. I think everyone should have Sailor Shikiori Okuyama in their stash. Now let me put this, and you can see from the different ink, the papers, this is OK Fool's paper. This is mixed media paper from Kanzen, and this is original Tomoe River paper, 52 GSM. That the color looks a little bit different on each one of them. And I said previously that I don't necessarily like inks that change colors so drastically. I think this is still bearable, Shikiori. Maybe it's because I generally like this ink that I don't mind so much. Yeah, this flows so well. Oh my gosh. I'm very excited about this ink. So this is definitely one of those. I don't regret this, and I'm actually really happy I bought this ink. Lovely. And then the last one that I'm swatching here is Pennonia. Well, actually, let me swatch this one. This is Monteverde Chamaleon ink, and I feel like this is a darker version. It might even be Mont Blanc Alfred Hitchcocky. Yeah, I did not say that. And I think also it compares to Diamine Writer's Blood, so maybe that's a good choice to put down here. I have not been drawn to Monteverde inks much in general. Just have never really ventured into that field. I heard some bad things about them. I had a Valentine red that was just, you know, not really interesting. So I never really branched out. But this one just caught my eye. It was a free ink that I was able to get because I talked to them about their Instagram post. The Instagram post said, if you mention the post, you will get a free ink. So that's what I did. I didn't even have to show it to them. I just went up and said, hey, I saw your Instagram post and it said that you would get a free ink. So this is definitely a chameleon ink as well. It's not just the name for the animal, but this also changes color. Let me check the... this is Cosmo Airlight. This is what it looks on Cosmo Airlight. It looks much darker, leaning more blue on original Tomoe River paper. And look at the color here on the mixed media paper. So it's just different, very different. I seem to like that, even though I said I don't. Don't know what's up with that. So I'm gonna do this. It's a deep purple, almost black. I think I'm done with this, so I can put this to the side. I think this is clean. Let's dip it one more time and dry it off. I have a rag right next to me, right here, where I'm always drying off my brass nib in between uses. So I dip it in water and then I basically write it off. And this is wet. See how it falls off the nib? It has a specific ITF technology that makes it, that lubricates it. It says it's good for the feed, and I don't know what it actually is, but it just says on the chameleon, on the packaging on the outside. A, B, C, A, B, C. Yeah, I put this in the Franklin Christoph P20 that was gifted to me by Kristen. And because of the ITF technology, I'm not sure that it works in that pen. I'm going to swap the nibs around and see, because it also has an extra fine Signip Chamaleon. So maybe I can find a good nib for that pen so I can use it. 24 Monteverde. You can see it always looks different on all the different papers. I'm eating my words here, friends. I'm always making bold statements, and then I have to retrace them, retract them, say, maybe not. Maybe I actually like this now. I think that's part of the reason why you all like me, because I'm always making bold statements. And then I'm eating my words. The next video, Chameleon. No, that's not right. It's a guy. I wrote it wrong all the time. It's chameleon. Oh, well, okay. I know what it means, so that's good. Diamine Writer's Blood looks like this. Just to see a comparison. This is a lot more red than this. This leans almost blue. I'm curious to see a chromatography of this. I want to see. I'm thinking of starting my ink journal again, the one where I do chromatography and water tests and stuff. I haven't done that in almost a year. Over a year, I think. I'm feeling really drawn to it. Don't know how I'm going to incorporate that in my inky life. You know, the arbitrary rules that I put on myself. But I mean, like maybe when I have an ink in my rotation that I'm curious about, like this one, maybe I don't have to do all of them like I used to do and wanted to do. Maybe I'll just, you know, pick and choose, because especially with bottles, there's so many more inking possibilities, and I'm not looking for a complete ink journal exploration or ink exploration. What I'm looking for is to have fun with that specific ink in that specific moment, and that might be totally good. So I am done with all of those. I wanted to check here. So Wearingeul Heimdall is right here. And it looks like a more orangey version of Kyunghui. It seems like it falls right in the middle between the Autumn Oak and Kyunghui. Let's just compare it to Brandy Snap. Brandy Snap looks closer to Kyunghui than Heimdall, for sure. Is that all the light inks that I have right here? Yeah, and then 50 States, Nevada. And I feel like this is a theme here, as you can see. So yeah, I am going to put this to the side, let this dry, turn the page, and then continue the swatching. Okay, I just found that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 greenish blue inks, and then I have Walnut and Rosa Mexicano left. Maybe I'll have a bottom somewhere that I can squeeze one of those on. We'll see. I had to take out the notebook out of my traveler's notebook journal because this is the middle actually, and it's really hard to do swatching when there's an elastic right here. Just so you know. All right, let's continue with the swatching experiment here. So this one is Esterbrook Writing Fuel ink, Funky Lake. Doesn't have a thing, but I think I'm going to start again. I'm going to start with Kobe number 22, Shinkaichi Gold. Let's put this over here. Let's grab the stuff that we need. Maybe I can, this time around, I can actually not swatch the cards that I already have in my stash. We'll see. It's always hard, right? So I'm gonna put this up here. Oh, this feels, well, I'm not going to say that this feels dry because it's just, I can't really say anything about it. It goes down an olive gold. But then it dries, especially on Tomoe River paper, it dries much differently. So let me go here. 1, 2, 3. I'm getting inky fingers from the top of the Q-tip. Earwax cleaner. I put this in my new Leonardo and it writes beautifully. Kobe. Number 22. Shinkaichi gold. It reminds me a little bit of, I think Inaho is similar, but more brown. What I thought it would look like very closely, especially in the writing, is Krishna Cassia Flora. Maybe when I have swatched it, I'm going to be able to show that to you in this predecessor of this notebook. It feels a little bit dry here, coming off this brass nib. Kobe, number 22. Shinkaichi gold. So let's put this in too. It's a little bit darker. It's not as neon green here, but sometimes it feels like it splits into similar colors. What size ink bottle is this? 50 milliliters, I believe. I had meant to actually purchase Pilot Iroshizuku Tsutsuchi, which, if I'm not mistaken, is an ink that is being discontinued by Pilot. Before the pen show, I was like, oh, well, next time I'm checking out from Amazon, I'm just going to include it. Yeah, not available anymore. Number 22. Kobe. Well, it's actually Nagasawa Kobe. Oh well, so and I got this on August 23rd, 2024 from Kristen SF. All right, so let me grab this here. I don't know. I really don't. What do you think? Is it close? It's definitely, this splits into more colors, I believe. It's like chromo shading into green and reds. This doesn't, so maybe that's why I feel like it's similar, but not. We'll see. We'll figure it out. Then, am I going to leave this here? I don't know. Lid. I'm gonna to start and get frazzled. Not cool. I'm gonna just show you Diamine Walnut swatch from the Inkvent swatching. I just thought I could do that. Then this one is Diamine Wagner. Diamine Wagner is one of those musician inks. There were more, but I don't know what others. I just love this. ever since I saw this being swatched by someone, I thought this is the perfect olive green, and I think it is. Now, the only question is, how does it perform in pens? Is it a dry ink? Is it a wet ink? Moderate flow? It doesn't feel super dry, but then, you know, you never know. I did not put this in a fountain pen just yet. I did, however, put quite a few of the inks that I got at the pen show into pens that I got at the pen show, because I felt like it would be a good thing to just, you know, not put my ink bottles into the drawer and then use them the next summer, how I did it with my other inks from the pen show. That's not what I want to do. So getting them into pens right away felt like a good idea. It doesn't necessarily help me get to know the pens, but that wasn't what this was about. It was just to break the ice and use them. And it was a good thing. I mean, you only learn so many new things about a JoWo nib. And so I didn't think like that was a bad thing. The Leonardo is super wet, and I'm just gonna then get to know it better as I go along. It is definitely extremely wet. I feel like, so now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more, if you haven't seen my videos, don't know anything, I purchased a Scribble Feel in February or January as my birthday pen for 2024, and I was quite disappointed. I thought what I was hoping for was a really wet writing pen with a bouncy nib, maybe not super bouncy, but also not normal. That sounds weird, but just, and I was quite disappointed. I think I forgot to make a card, right? Yeah, so I need to put one aside, and then maybe Cassia Flora looks like a mix of Diamine Wagner and Kobit number. Let me grab that down here. It's like if you mix those two, then you get this one. So it's an in-between. I get why I'm liking this so much. It does lighten up a lot if you haven't noticed. So this was much greener before it went down. I want to see how it looks in finer nibs, just to make sure that I like writing with it then too. No, which one is this? Yeah. And I just didn't have that experience. It wasn't super wet. It wasn't super flowy. It wasn't bouncy much. It was an okay writing experience, but it wasn't as amazing as I had expected it to be. That's a problem that I have. I often expect a lot, especially when I'm planning a purchase very far in advance, and then I'm disappointed with the experience. That's not necessarily the fault of the pen. I was hoping for something that I did not get, and I just couldn't reconcile with that feeling that I had towards the pen, and so I decided to sell it. And I feel like I just walked. I never in my life had expected to purchase a Leonardo. I actually thought to myself, I don't think I ever said it on the videos, I actually thought that maybe Leonardo just isn't the right pen manufacturer for me. And I was okay with that. And then I walk up to that table and I see that pen and I see the nib and I'm intrigued by the size of the nib, and I have never written with a titanium nib. And so I was able to try that at the table there. Oh, I know why this is so... I was wondering why this is so wet, because I usually get off some of the excess ink on the cards. And then when I write on this paper, it's already less saturated and it writes thinner. Pen Show exclusive. But that is just, this is how I had expected and hoped the Scribo to write. I'm glad I'm getting that experience now with a different pen. The only thing that I'm a little bit scared of with that pen is it has an ebonite feed. And what I've learned about ebonite feeds since I had that Scribo feel is that ebonite feeds hold on to the ink quite for a long time. And so I'm just going to write exclusive Sailor August 23 2024 Sailor 20 milliliter. Yeah, this looks like a really nice dark green. I know that I'm going to like this, like using that, even though it's not as I had expected it to look like from the color of the sticker here. I don't know. Do you see? Well, maybe. Well, maybe. I don't know. What do you think? So I've done this. This is done. This is done. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to using that pen this upcoming year. It's a piston filler, which is also not something that I'm all into all the time. I'm gonna swatch these two, and then, yeah, I think the way that they are sorted right here. This is Kiwi Inks, Haunted Forest. I wrote somewhere that it's Harvest Forest. That's not true. I think these bottles are the same that Van Diemen's uses. Yeah, they're holding on to the ink quite a bit, and so the ebonite feeds are really hard to clean. Plus, it's a piston filler, which is not necessarily my preferred filling method. So I went basically, I saw the pen, I tried the nib, and I was like, I don't care what the filling mechanism is. I don't care at all. I want this. I want this. So I got it, and I'm hoping, and I'm like, fingers crossed that it's a pen that stays. Maybe I don't know. I've thought of maybe using for the piston fillers that are in my house, and I'm not looking to add too many piston fillers to my collection in the future. This is just the rare exception, not the norm, I believe. I hope. You know, we all change. At this moment, on August 29th, 2024, I think that piston fillers aren't my future. So I am Kiwi Inks. Haunted Forest. This definitely looks like a haunted forest. But what I thought about, because I do struggle with cleaning those and I don't enjoy cleaning those, if a solution to that problem would be to find a permanent ink buddy that I will ink that pen with for, you know, maybe not necessarily for the rest of eternity, but maybe for 6 months at a time or so, especially because they are piston fillers. I would just have to refill them and then take quite a lot of time and love and care and attention to cleaning them once every 6 months and then maybe switch up the ink. Maybe that's a thing that I'm going to do. I don't know yet. I didn't need more of those cards. I'm not running low, but I feel like this is how much I have left. I feel like I should buy more, or the next time I order at the place where they have it and they are in stock, I should get more. Or I could also just not buy any more ink bottles, you know. That's an option. But as I said before, I thought I wasn't going to add that many inks to my collection. I was only going to buy Tachiya Ume Murasaki, which I didn't buy because it was sold out. I don't know how many milliliters these are. Is there anything on the bottle? 30 ml. So this is Haunted Forest. Kiwi inks. I don't know anything about Kiwi inks. I thought they were local to California or possibly the Bay Area, but I'm not sure. I bought this on Sunday, August 25, 2024 at their table. Kiwi inks. It writes nicely on the nib, so I'm looking forward to using this. This is a dark green teal ink. As I said, I'm always drawn to the same colors all the time. I'm not mad. But yeah, I have the Lamy 2000 is a piston filler in my possession, the M800, and I think this Leonardo. Is that all? I do have a TWSBI Eco 1.1 stub that I don't use anymore, or not much at least. But yeah, I think that's all the piston filling pens that I have. Or my Lamys. What else do I have? Waterman's are cartridge converter pens. What other pens do I have? I don't know. All of my... So this is hard to open. This is Krishna Chennai ink. This has... I don't know if this goes there or if this came loose, but I don't really know how I would... Oh. Well, I know how I would open it, but I don't know how I would open it without getting ink everywhere. Oh, shoot. This is tough. I don't want it to plop away from me. Oh, wow. Okay. Now that's a messy bottle to open. Interesting. Well, let's see. So this is how much is left in here. I believe these are basically the same color. Yeah, so that would make 3. Oh, I have a back filler, the Pilot Custom 823. So that would be... Okay, so now I need to make a card for this because I want to see if this is the same color. It goes down a dark teal, like the Haunted Forest, but I don't think well, we can see here. Haunted Forest is not changing the color at all. There we go. Wow. I should have pulled out my Teranishi Gentle Green. I love how this sounds, actually. There's a lot of ink here on my fingers now. Yeah, so I have about 4 pens that are harder to clean than cartridge converter pens. And so that's my thought. Krishna inks. No, it doesn't say inks. Well, I'm going to write Krishna inks anyway. And it's the Chennai ink. This is such a great color. ABC. ABC. It's very saturated. It looks so different on Tomoe River paper though. And I'm smudging the ink as usual. Krishna Chennai. Yeah, thank you so much, Galen. I love this ink. This is awesome. Let me grab another one of those. Make this and then close it again, and then I'll show you Teranishi Gentle Green. I don't think you can get your hands on an ink bottle of this ink anymore, but there is an amazing alternative that is available broadly, and that is Teranishi Gentle Green. Another alternative would be Diamine Evergreen, Chennai ink. So, Krishna inks. And then this is from Galen. Haha. I'm not sure if this is how to write your name. I'm sorry. Do we know how many milliliters are in this? This looks more like a 20 or 15 milliliter bottle. I'm not gonna write anything. But I'm gonna grab those two other cards after I'm gonna close this. Oh my gosh. Let me put this to the side. I didn't want to spill anything. So, and that's the reason why I make all cards for all the inks that I have in my stash. Either, even if I give them out, and oh, there's two. And then what was the other one? Teranishi. Uh-oh. There. Because I can compare them on the same papers. So this is what Gentle Green looks like. I think this has a little bit more oomph to it, but this is basically the same color, just less saturated, I would assume. And then Diamine Evergreen turns into more the evergreen color. Oh my gosh, sorry. And you can't really discern a difference on my screen, at least I can't. I hope you can. This looks more like you would look into a forest with needles. This is what I think of when I think of a Christmas tree. This is definitely not, but they have all similar properties, and this is the most affordable one of them all. Now, I don't have my notebook right here, but I do have a swatching video where I compare all of those inks, and I will link it for sure. So, last two. This is the Show Ink, San Francisco Bay, and I don't think I have ever used a Colorverse bottle, but I think these are, I don't know how they evaporate or how they hold up, but they look like they seal really well. I also like how they seem to be quite stable. I like the flat thing. This bottle convinces me that I might need to get that awesome Colorverse Brain. Oh, that is such a lovely ink. Now it's really dark on here, but it's also very saturated too. I have it in a pen right now and it looks very light, but maybe it's no, it does. It is totally not the same color as as is on here. This to me looks more like Shioro from Pilot Iro Shizuku, but this one, it looks like a watered down version of that ink. Interesting. Interesting. Let me know if you went to the San Francisco, what do you think about this ink? Does it is a lovely color, so don't get me wrong on that. But does it meet the expectation that you had when you saw the box and the announcement for the ink? Does it meet your expectation? Because to me, these are basically, but look at how it dries. It changes color a little bit. Yeah, I'd love to know, because I'm always curious and I'm always judgy. I always have controversial opinions. The ink inside here is not the ink that you see on the outside of the box. So Colorverse, San Francisco Bay. It does definitely look like more like ocean water, especially, well, does it? I don't know. Questioning my random spillage of words right here. A, B, C. One more. I'm like really done right now, so I don't know where and when I will swatch Rosa Mexicano. That's what it's called, not Mexicano. I'm like too German for this word. Colorverse San Francisco Bay. Look at this gradient of colors. So I need one of those. It's a 30 milliliter bottle. Okay, if I had been more brave, I would have purchased glass dip pens. There was a stub broad nib from something studio, Bungu. There were two glass nib manufacturers, the one that comes from Hong Kong. I loved their nibs. They were awesome. But if they come back, maybe I'll do that next year. But then I'll look into it more. I got this on August 23. I paid for my bottle. I did participate, but I'm going to gift this ink. I'm going to gift this ink to a friend who sends out tons of samples to friends. And I'm going to gift the winner of my giveaway a sample of this bottle right here. Yes, I could include a whole bottle of this ink. But I'm choosing to send this bottle to a friend that I know will use it more, will love it more. So, where did I get this? At this SF pen show. Yeah, it's very light. I'm not sure. Do you like it? What's your thought on this? I'd really love to know. Okay, last ink, and then I'm basically fried. So I'm just going to show you Walnut in a card. I think I have that here. This is Funky Lake. I always want to say Quirky Lake, but it's Quirky Leaf. That's the green pen and ink. Okay, so let's do this first. Yeah, it's greener. I probably should have put this up here more. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's wet. It seems to be flowing nicely. It's a nice color too. I mean, give me all the colors on that spectrum and I'll use them all. I find something to like about all of these. Oh, this is such a perfect square right here. Okay. That's it. I don't need this anymore. Okay. Dip nib. If you have insider information and you are able to share, Brooke, I would love to know who manufactures the inks for Esterbrook. Esterbrook, Funky Lake. Actually, Lake. I think that this color definitely looks like a Funky Lake. This is what I think a murky water, if you look into a lake, this one is what it looks like more than actually this. Here, she complains about all the things, but I paid for it, so I'm allowed to say something. It's not a free ink. Esterbrook. Yeah, I like both of them. I want to use both of them in pens for sure. But I think I like the Funky Lake a little bit more. Maybe so much more so that I want to get a bottle of this. Is this a limited ink? Like, do I have to run and buy ink right now? Because I don't think that that's what I want to do. No, this is just a sample, so I don't need to make a card for that. All right, so last ink. Let's see if we have last two inks. This is Diamine Walnut on Tomoe River paper. And I believe I also brought out, I don't necessarily like it as much on the mixed media paper, but definitely on Tomoe River, there's a slight hint of red underneath. And then let's just see if we can find an open spot somewhere. I feel like I saw there. Let's just do it, put it right here. For some reason, I thought this ink was much brighter, much more saturated than it actually is. I have no idea whether that is good or bad. We'll see. Oops. Okay. Ugh! This is new! Blah, blah, blah. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I just purchased this cork desk mat at IKEA on Monday. Let me know if you think I should go back to the black mat or if this is a good one to use. So let's just turn the card around. Well, so maybe it's just the paper. I'm going to show you the Cosmo Airlight sample that I made, and it looks much duller and a lot lighter. I don't know why. Maybe it is. It reminds me of Diamine Deep Magenta, I believe. I don't have that ink anymore. I bought a bottle when I didn't know better. Like right now. This was a swap, so it's not a purchase. Again, I don't know if you can still buy these. I think I saw Eric from Amarillo Stationery say that he wasn't sure he's going to do another run of this color specifically, but maybe I heard wrong as well. Amarillo Stationery. It comes off my nib really easily, so it feels like it's a Rosa Mexicano. It feels like it might be quite a good lubricated ink. There is some blue and it's very vibrant actually. Wow, I'm glad I'm swatching this because I wasn't too impressed and taken by this ink when I swatched it in my Cosmo Airlight notebook. That's why I wanted to do this. because I knew that because I'm doing all of my ink swatches on the same papers, I feel like I can get a good understanding of the color of the ink. Oh, now I cleaned this and I need it again. Because, okay, here. Look how washed out this looks. Like, okay, well, you can't see anything. Look here, look here. Look at the difference. This is, wow. Wow. I'm impressed. Again, because I am doing the swatches on the very same colors all the time, I am able to compare colors, of course. And that's what makes this doing... Yes. That's what makes this so special. That sounds weird. Like, you know, if you do it on the same paper over and over again, you know exactly what you get. Even when you use a different paper to write on. Oh my gosh, I should not write. And August, I think we swapped these on August 24th, 2024. And this is Karina. And this is 50 milliliters? 60. Ooh. So, I mean, it's not 60 milliliters because it's already been used, but it's definitely still enough for me to use. Okay. All right. That's it. Thank you so much for watching this long video. I appreciate you taking the time. I love chatting about ink colors. There's Diamine Evergreen again. And I hope you had a fun swatching session with me. I will see you again soon. Bye.